What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I'm sitting in 485 traffic. I turned the old AC down. And there's something that old Shep posted this morning, and it was, LD's what's some advice on doing like a cinematic broadcast. And so I was thinking about the answer. I commented on it, like, just do your job. And because a lot of the responses on there is like, that's ideally the job of the LD is kind of making sure everything, is working properly, is set correctly, focused correctly, metered correctly, colored correctly. And then this is a bit of advice that I would give to if you're starting off in lighting, or if you're like, hey, how do I level up my lighting game or whatever, and it's just invest in scopes. Invest in a calibrated monitor that has a vector scope, a spectrometer, I don't remember what it's actually called, but and a vector scope, so you know exactly what everything's doing. Invest in a good light meter, and something that measures color as well as brightness, so you can see exactly what you're throwing on that stage. Invest in those measurement tools. That's going to be your best first step. But one of the key words that Shep asked was cinematic. And when we think broadcast, we think very even, very very even, very bright. It's very uniform. No shadows, or very little shadows. It's not very in the theater world, it's not very dramatic. But when we're talking about cinematic, the key aspect of that, of ensuring you're getting some of those cinematic looks, is the LD and whoever the video director is. Those two guys have to be on the same page. The LD needs to know where the cameras are at, what shots they're really looking for, what shots they're going for, how there's, you might have good coverage in the room. It might be like there's not really one particular side of the room that is loaded, or that you're shooting, more, like sometimes you might say like, well, we're shooting more on house left or house right. But the key, or it might be even, but the key aspect is you want to be shooting into the shadow. And so if there are some particular camera shots that the DP is looking for, and is saying, hey, this is kind of our money shot, or this is what we're really looking for, and this is what we're really going after, that is going to determine which side of the, where you're bringing your key light in from. So for me, particularly at elevation, obviously for sermon, it's as even as we can possibly get it. But for worship, there's a cinematic element to it that we try to achieve with, we come in from one side of the stage right now, because we have camera 4 on house right, which gives us this really nice shot right across the stage. I like to light and bring my key light in from house left, so that camera 4 is shooting into the shadow. And same with like camera 6 is more of a crowd shot, but camera 3 we can also get from that side of the stage. And then I'm using just some side fill to like fill in. If it's like too contrasty, I have the option to bring in some fill coming in from house right. But I primarily like to come in from one side of the stage. That and then your cameras, and again, it's working with your DP to make sure that you're, if they're like, well, no, if you're lighting from house left and they're like, yeah, well, we're shooting primarily from house left, then you're going to get you're just not going to get that cinematic look. You're not going to get that like rim, on the silhouette on the profile. You're just not going to get that. So you want to be shooting into the shadow as much as you can. So that means invest in, if all of your lights are in front of the stage, great, it's fine. But you might want to invest in some side light that are it's true 90 degrees, on the actual side, coming in on the side, or something that is a little bit more of an extreme angle, that's not 22.5 degree coming in. It's a little bit more extreme. And then and just using that, so it's coming in from this side, which I have nothing really coming in from here except maybe a fill if it's a little too contrasty. But then so right now it's the sun is kind of back there. I would want to shoot this way, because that's where the light is coming in, and it gives a nice cinematic feel. It's nice. So anyway, that's a little bit of a Lampy rambling and a little bit of an answer to Shep's question about what's some advice. Just shooting into the shadow. Invest in metering, in scopes and a waveform monitor, and a good meter that measures color and brightness, and then just know where your cameras are. Be on the same page with the DP. Have conversation. Have dialogue, and have a great relationship with the DP. That's gonna kind of create some of those great moments. And don't be afraid to get dramatic with it. Come in from one side, have a little bit of a fill on the other, and that also speaks into your design. Some of your design decisions. So anyway, yeah, thanks y'all.